that most people fuel their body with a very carbohydrate or glucose forward diet.
And a byproduct are free radicals, which damage the mitochondria. And when you have damaged mitochondria, you have less cellular energy.
But a ketone is designed to go right to the mitochondria, and it is the best antioxidant possible.
Hey, it's Catherine Arnston, the host of the Arnston Effect, where on our podcast, we bring in experts to suggest 3 small things that they recommend through their lens of their knowledge to you so that you can have the biggest outcome on your health and longevity. Sort of how like the butterfly effect, or small things that aggregate together to have a big outcome. Today, my guest is Dr. Boz, who is a medical doctor and who runs a clinic teaching people about the importance of keto diets and the impacts they have on your health. Can you help us understand what a keto diet is, why it's so important for people, for their health, and then we'll address the other 3 important things if you think.
You bet. Well, thank you for inviting me. This is great to help. And what a great way to set up a podcast too. Like, what's the 3 little things? Oh, that's a good question. So let me start by saying a ketogenic diet is a diet where you are measuring ketones and they are actually in circulation of your body. I have a lot of folks come to me saying the keto diet didn't work or I can't do it. And I will tell you that's not true. I've never had a patient fail. They all can do the ketogenic diet.
You'd never fail.
Right. But what we're looking for is that most people fuel their body with a very carbohydrate or glucose forward diet. And their body will take that fuel and burn it, and they will live happily ever after by making a lot of trash in their body.
Right. Because you get a lot of insulin spikes.
Right.
And so when she's saying high carbs, that's everything from candies and baked goods, because everything that you eat that's a carb ultimately gets reduced to glucose.
Right.
And then you get insulin spikes. And your ketogenic diet reduces the carb load on the body because fat takes longer to burn and you become more efficient.
Right. And that fat, when it burns, it's less debris. It's less trash in the body. So you get a cleaner fuel than you do when you get a chronic glucose or carbohydrate fuel.
Right.
So that's the science behind what's going on. I use that prick your finger because I have a lot of folks that write in saying, I can't do, or this isn't working. And the first thing we say to them is, show me your numbers. Let me see that you've got ketones in circulation. So in a ketogenic diet, we teach you how to have a menu that does that. But we also say your metabolism is probably broken if you're coming to me. I'm an internal medicine physician that, well, we're supposed to manage you chronically and chronically add to your med list for every problem you have.
Right. And you don't do that.
Right.
So she's talking about prevention or correction, but not using medication to do it.
Right.
Using food. And I just want to back up a little bit because you talked about the trash. Well, you know what that trash is? Part of the trash are free radicals, because I've done some studies on the production of cellular energy, which is called ATP. And a byproduct are free radicals, which damage the mitochondria. And when you have damaged mitochondria, you have less cellular energy. It's like the lights in a building going out. Your mitochondria are the lights in your body. And when you have fewer mitochondria, you have fewer lights. And when you have fewer lights, your body can't do as much work. And guess what throws off the most free radicals? Processed carbs.
Amen.
I've seen it. So the more carbs you are eating, the more free radicals you are releasing in this process of creating cellular energy, which is causing more and more damage to your mitochondria, which is one of the things that's actually contributing to your metabolic disease, to your fatigue, to your brain fog. So Dr. Boz and people who are pursuing ketogenic diets is helping you get off that roller coaster, which will help you have more energy, help you lose weight, and also reduce the free radicals that are a byproduct.
Oh, you need to come on board. That's exactly what I say. That's awesome. No, really, I mean, to have that level of understanding, it's so nice. And if your audience is that astute to really lean into what mitochondria are trying to help you with.
She's trying to help you and your mitochondria.
Right. And, one of the hardest parts for me to explain is when people come in and say, can I just take these supplements for an antioxidant effect? I'm like, well, let me just tell you that if you take that supplement, you still have to swallow it, get it past your gut lining, get it through your liver, get it into your circulation, get it over to the cell, and then get it to the cell lining and then to your mitochondria.
Right.
But a ketone is designed to go right to the mitochondria, and it is the best antioxidant possible. It helps to take those free radicals and really neutralize them. I mean, not only does it burn a cleaner fuel when it makes ATP, but it helps to absorb some of those electrical charges that shouldn't be bouncing around the cell.
Right.
And now you get them neutralized. Right. So yeah, ketogenic when you hear people saying I feel better in a ketogenic state, they are not lying. Those ketones really kind of calm down the noise of all that extra.
Right. And the other amazing thing is you're not hungry.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I find that and I know you use our products, spirulina and chlorella in your clinic. Spirulina takes away your hunger. Like, it's unbelievable. When you combine a ketogenic diet with spirulina and then the chlorella helps build the gut. I mean, can you imagine going through the day not being hungry? You only eat selectively when you want or for social purposes.
All right.
And it changes everything.
You have so much more time.
Yeah. You have so much more time, you have more money, and you're not frantic because when you have those insulin spikes, it affects your brain. It affects everything in your body. So you help get people balanced out.
Right.
Ketogenic diet.
Well, and yeah, what a wonderful gift to not only have the less times you're eating today, but that brain fuel. You can concentrate all the way through the day. You can really do important work and stay at it.
Right.
When you've got
that would be very helpful for people who are ADHD.
Oh yeah.
Autism. In fact, I know a lot of people go on ketogenic diets to stop seizures.
Oh,
epilepsy.
Absolutely.
Keto diets have been studied and used for decades. To prevent any kind of epileptic seizure. So if it's helping epileptics with their brain, just imagine what it can do for anyone else who's
right. Well, so when I left corporate medicine in 2010, and my practice has been internal medicine, but a focus on peak brain performance.
Oh, nice.
I didn't enter the ketogenic diet space until 2014, 2015, when I saw that all of the cool stuff I was doing for helping with that peak performance of their brain was so much better and so much more long lasting with fewer medications if they were on a ketogenic diet.
Right.
You put a bed of ketones down to try and help this patient, there's a whole bunch of stuff you don't need. You are going to be a lot better, period, by the way that brain works and body works.
Right.
So if we get to the three things that I look at for what are some of the small steps when I'm looking at a patient, and I'm going to specifically look at a patient whose brain's not working well. There's nothing more powerful than the removal of alcohol and substances.
Yeah.
It looks like that's the way the world shuts you down, but it really is tough on brains.
Yeah.
Even in my personal, a glass of wine here and there, as I age, the less I do that because the more I can feel how much it shuts down my brain and my body. Right.
Or like once or twice a year.
Yeah. It's real because I just don't like that consequence of I feel what a good brain feels like. And it is a gift. It is a treasure. And I am like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah, you can't bottle that.
And in fact, when I have that glass of red wine, I'm like, not good the next. Wasn't anything close to what I would expect to do that, but it is not what my brain likes to do anymore.
Yeah.
So I look at substances and say that, do not fall for the trick that you think that alcohol is healthy. It is a toxin to your brain. And I'm not a prude. I'm not the nothing, but I will tell you, when I am healing a brain and you're putting alcohol on it, it really is a detriment. Yeah. The second thing, which goes hand in hand with that, is that sleep is usually why they have those substances. They're trying to get their brain to sleep. Yeah. And the second thing is how sleep was my first love. I was going to be an ICU doctor, so I would volunteer in the sleep lab.
Wow.
That's a nuts season of life. I was sleep deprived in the sleep lab, but I learned so much about what happens when you trace the brain waves of somebody when they're sleeping, and then what happens when they've got a dysfunction in their brain, or when they've had alcohol, or when they're on a benzodiazepine like Valium or Librium, and you're like, wow, that brain can't take out any trash.
Yeah.
So
that's why I talk about chlorella as the cleanup crew. It takes out the trash in your gut and your brain, so it really helps with sleep. So
and if you as you age, a good night's sleep is something you're like, thank you, Jesus, that's awesome.
It's better than sex.
Amen. You're like, what a great relief.
Certainly better than alcohol.
Hey, absolutely, for sure, right? Looking at that, I look at the danger of how desperate your brain gets the longer it goes without a good night's sleep, and how it is programmable.
Yeah.
But much like
this point.
Yeah, much like you talk about removing into your chrysalis and saying, go back, give up everything, and say, let me recreate how that brain's supposed to shut down and sleep. And people say, I'm 60, I can't reprogram it. I guess you can, but you got to give up a lot of things. Yeah. You got to go into your little chrysalis and say, stop. Yeah. Sleep has some rules, and you cannot force it. I can force you to wake up, but forcing you to go to sleep is a different season. And, and there's nothing healthy about all the things. When we force you to sleep, you're not going to like me.
Well, what I love about your suggestions, first of all, removing alcohol costs you nothing.
I know, right?
Sleep costs you nothing. Right. Algae is very affordable, and the keto diet, you will be less hungry, so you will not buy as much food. So that costs you nothing.
It's real. Once they get through that first 2 weeks, you're like, you can't believe how little you eat.
Yeah.
Right.
So these are really simple things that people can do at any age, at any stage of wherever they are in their health journey. And I really am grateful that you have this practice to educate people. Yeah. Do you want to learn more about how a keto diet can help you? I encourage you to reach out to Dr. Boz at drbozmd.com.
BozMD.com.
BozMD.com. And start learning about the keto diet. It's easy to do.
Yeah.
And these other things are also there. It's challenging to change habits. But when you get on the other side of it, you'll think, why didn't I do this earlier?
Right. We have some great ways to train you. We try to do that cost effectively. There's an online course you can take. All of my patients have gone through that. There's a workbook that we have them do. You can buy that online too, called the Keto Continuum. And then that Keto Continuum comes with a book. It is about David and his story. And thankfully, he made every mistake possible in the ketogenic diet. So you can learn from him as you're going through his story. People love it. And you don't need me. You just need educated.
Yeah, education is key. So
yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Boz. I look forward to seeing you, everywhere for many, many years to come.
Well, thank you very much. And we appreciate all of the services that you do for our patients.
Well, thank you. Thank you.